Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here, playing Battlefield Hardline, continuing on with the collectibles. This is episode 4, case closed. There are a total of 14 collectibles starting off in the warehouse. We have 10 pieces of evidence and 4 warrants. As soon as you come in, if you walk straight forward, you should be able to find case D, evidence number 14, in these barrels directly in front of you. Now we're going to case B, evidence 6. This is in the office just off to the right hand side on the main floor of the warehouse. Make sure you do scan that as well. Now we're going to use the staircase behind us to make our way up to the 3rd story of the warehouse. So up the stairs we go to find our next piece of evidence, case D, evidence number 15. Again, they're all way out of order. That's normal for this game. So I'm just showing you the fastest and best way to find them in the video. Now that we're on the 3rd floor, make your way into the main hallway and take your first left in order to find a garbage can with a burner phone in it and scan that to get your next collectible. Now you'll want to turn around and look at the room directly behind you. Go inside that room, and if you look into the left-hand corner as you enter, you should find this large stuffed waffle head guy. And that waffle head guy is another collectible that you want to scan. And then your 5th piece of evidence inside the warehouse on the 4th floor. I go a little bit too far here. You'll actually want to turn to the right-hand side and then go up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, I believe, is where you would continue to progress with the story. But before we do that, you're going to want to make sure you pick up this evidence, which is the last piece of evidence for case C, which should get you the Elmore Hotel investigation. Now we're going to make our way outside and make our first arrest. Once we make our way outside, you'll notice that there's a whole bunch of enemy activity on the left-hand side there. There's also one guy standing next to an alarm system. If you scan him, he will be Philip Evans. You can use this in order to equip a stun gun if you so desire, which I have just in case. Again, I like to freeze my warrants and then arrest them manually as you get more points. But if you so desire, feel free to run up to him, tase him, and then take out the rest of the enemies violently by killing them with an actual weapon. Now, in order to get this enemy, I'm just going to walk in through the front gate. I'm going to sit right here behind this kind of blue area. I'm going to tell him to freeze, and I'm going to arrest him right there. I do get spotted by everyone, so keep that in mind. You might want to try something a little different than me if you don't mind, if you'd rather not get shot at. Now we're going to make our way inside that warehouse that we were just outside of, and as soon as we walk in, you'll find a large poster directly under the table. You'll want to come out of your scan mode, look into the middle of the room where you can scan a box all the way from up here of DVDs. You can also go downstairs and scan it from in front of it. Now I've taken out all the enemies and I made my way back up to this room as a reference point. Now that all the enemies are taken out, I'm just going to sprint around. And what we're going to want to do is go directly below where we were when we were standing in that office. So just hug the left here, go up here, and you should find one piece of evidence on the left here on this desk. That's for case D, evidence 2. And now with this next collectible, we will be unlocking an achievement or trophy if you've been following along. This should complete your 3rd case, case D, evidence number 16. Pick it up off that desk to complete internal affairs. And, like I said, unlock an achievement. Case B should not be completed, but Case A, C, and D should be. Case B here, evidence number 2. Case B doesn't actually get solved until, like, later on in the game, so just don't even worry about it. We're going to come into this room after making our way downstairs. You'll see this guy standing in front of a camera system. I've taken him out. Just off to the right-hand side of the room, you should be able to find this box inside of crates, and you'll obviously want to analyze it in order to unlock it and have it for later on. Now, the last 3 collectibles in this level will all be warrants. Leonard Miller can be found once you make your way to the parking garage. You'll see a truck unload some enemies, and the closest enemy to you should be Leonard Miller. But, obviously, all the enemies do walk around, and he actually walks directly across the area, and he'll actually end up being the furthest enemy from you after a while. So, again, you can use your taser whatever you want here. You can completely ignore this enemy that I ended up arresting. I arrested him because he got a little too curious. I didn't want to restart my progress. So I took him out, and now you're just going to want to make your way kind of straight to the back of this area in order to take out this enemy, Leonard Miller, who has a warrant, who I've analyzed to make sure he has a warrant. And once I arrest him, I should get 1,000 points. Now I've taken out all the rest of the enemies and continued forward through the level. Now that I'm inside the mall, I'll make my way upstairs to the second story. You'll see a large sign that says Grand kind of right there on the top of the screen. And you'll notice there's a lot of enemies on the balcony. The actual enemy we're going for, called Frankie Diaz, he is located on the first story. But I've taken out this balcony enemy, and I'm going to show you Frankie Diaz. That's him right there all the way in the back, and he likes to chill there for quite a bit. He will walk around occasionally, so I recommend you kind of just make your way to him as fast as you can. Don't go through the middle of this courtyard. Preferably, as I do, I like to go kind of through the back and use this back staircase because you're less likely to be seen by enemies. And when it comes to warrants, I always like to get the warrant first and then just kill the rest of the enemies however I deem fit. This kind of makes it more likely that you're going to get the warrant you want and not screw it up and waste your time as much. So now that Frankie Diaz is coming a little bit forward, freeze and arrest him. That person you see right next to me on screen is actually my partner and not an enemy, so I didn't get seen and I continued on with the level and killed whoever I needed to kill. Now I'm inside of the food court. You'll see these large palm trees with neon lights on them. And as soon as you spawn in the food court, if you look down just to the left of the center area, you should see Xavier Gonzalez. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. He'll run to this area, and you can make him freeze and then arrest him. He's pretty fast, and he's a little bit aggressive as he turns, and he's a little bit unpredictable. So feel free to use your taser on him if you so desire. And that should be all 14 collectibles. Episode number 5 does not have collectibles, but it has missable achievements. Episode 6, out of business. Click on screen or see the annotation in the description below. And you can like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe for more content. I'll see you next time. Peace!